What's up, gamers? I'm your host, Cobra, and this is the Freeroll. Today, we're talking Riot Racers, how to spawn your assets. Now, if you've been following the Freeroll, then you know that Riot Racers has been going gangbusters this year, especially the last couple of months. They recently released their spawning feature, which is essentially breeding for both drivers and cars, which is super duper important to the overall ecosystem. We've seen from other games that breeding alone is not enough to sustain a play-to-earn economy on its own. However, we've also seen that it does work as long as the demand is there and continues to grow. In the cases of Zedrun and Axie Infinity, we saw extended periods of at least a couple of months in each case where breeding remained profitable and a good sink for the associated tokens in those games. However, when the growth stops, it stops working as a sink at all because there's no more reason to breed. The Riot Racers team, I think, has bought themselves at least a couple of months to release additional features by getting spawning out and running now. And they've already announced several additional features that will add utility to the Riot token and create additional sinks over this month and next month. So as long as those continue to roll out and we continue to see further development of the ecosystem, I think we are in good shape for Riot Racers to continue to grow and be a successful play-to-earn project. Quick programming note, I always include timestamps below so that you can skip directly to the portion of the video most applicable to your research today. Today's video doesn't have a lot of sections, but if you want to go straight to the demo, that link is there for you below. While you're clicking the link, do me a favor and double check that you've hit that subscribe button as well. It goes a long way towards supporting the channel. So today I am going to walk you through a demo on how to spawn your Riot Racers assets. The good news here is that it's just as easy and straightforward as everything else that the Riot Racers team has released recently. However, there is a variable that you need to keep in mind, and that is the cost of spawning. The cost is in both Riot token and USDT. And if you're like me, you probably don't keep a whole lot of USDT handy and are likely going to need to swap for that each time that you're doing a spawn. Last night I did a legendary spawn. That's the one that we are going to demo in a second, and the cost was $65 USDT, which I had to go out and swap a little bit of wrapped ETH for. The Riot tokens I haven't had to purchase a lot of so far for a couple of reasons. I purchased a bunch in advance of the feature being launched because I expected that I would be doing a bunch of spawning whether it was profitable or not. And on top of that, my scholars are cranking out the races, earning lots of Riot every day. Plus, I've got land and Genesis assets that have a drip of Riot coming in every day as well. So that part has been relatively low cost for us because we're earning it instead of buying it. I have been focused on the higher class cars for a couple of reasons. One, they pay out much better via the scholarship program, and their cost compared to purchasing Apollo or Genesis versions on the secondary market is a huge cost savings. Now, true, they aren't going to last forever. Those Artemis class assets are only good for 9 months today. However, in the play-to-earn world, 9 months is essentially infinity because nobody has been able to sustain a game economy successfully for that long. Now, I'm hopeful that Riot Racers can be the first one to prove that model works and can go longer than 9 months. However, we're mitigating some risk by going with the lower cost Artemis assets to expand our collection. So let's jump straight into the demo. Now, going in, I have already made sure that I have enough tokens to do this. And as you can see here, I've navigated to the breeding tab, narrowed it down to my legendary cars, and selected those two. Here it shows you the total cost of $65 USDT, and 2,300 Riot tokens, which we then go ahead and pay. Once we've done that, we get the beautiful confetti animation playing here, which I rather enjoy and is a nice touch. I'd love to see them add a little bit of confetti when you win a race, perhaps, because it's a neat effect. Important to note, I already swapped for the USDT before starting this demo. That process can be seen in the how to withdraw video, which I have linked below if you don't know how to do that swap. But here you can see that for just a couple of minutes I have a pending Artemis car sitting in my garage. After a moment or two, we can click over and click back to the garage and then see the actual car itself, and there it is, our legendary Raiden, the first one in our collection. And this is going to be an important growth step for us, because today I only have 2 scholars and 2 legendary cars. Even if I shared them both, that's only 1 per, and so I'd like them to have more high-end assets, which is why we are going to spawn enough so that they at least have 3 of each. And that's it, 90 seconds to go from 2 legendary cars to 3 legendary cars. We are going to continue this process until we have a total of 6 legendary cars, so that I can give 3 to each of my scholars. We will continue to monitor the ecosystem and economy to see if it makes sense to continue going beyond that as well. I would like to expand my team, so if things look the same as they do today or similar in about a month, then we will keep that process going and we will continue spawning out legendary and pro assets, likely until we have exhausted the full limit for my collection. If you found this video helpful, and we certainly hope you did, consider giving us a follow on Twitter. That's where I'm talking play to earn games all the time, and that's where you can get your answers or your questions answered by me if you have any. Also, do me a favor and double check that you have hit that like and subscribe button. It really helps to support the channel.